Turn off my ring.
Hey, everybody. Welcome everybody across the country, Canada, to our weekly Saturday morning call or conference. And I want to welcome everybody. We got a lot of information to share. I want to give some shout outs to a lot of people, recognize a lot of people. Number one, Donna Maderos and Junior Junior Lopez have gotten married this week.
Donna!
I know, great people, great friends. I mean, we'll be seeing them at Summit. Junior is, we've become, had good conversations over the years, and it's just great for them to be happy and enjoy their life, especially as Beachbody coaches. So we want to give them a shout out. Secondly, we got a lot of things happening, a lot of great people that have come on in, great growth this year. I wanted to share some numbers with you guys about driving depth and how all this has happened over just 365 days. And I also want to give some numbers over the past 90 days. And when you start equating those numbers, you start seeing why you get excited about what's going on. Remember, for every 1,000 coaches, think about this. For every 1,000 coaches that you get in your organization, or every 100 coaches, all you got to do is times it by 90 because of the volume. Because remember, every Shakeology order is 90 PV. So that's why it's so important to have everybody come in on a challenge pack so that you know that they're on home direct Shakeology and they're going to be around for the long time. And that's how you calculate your income. And that's how you calculate how you're going to make money. Does everybody get that, right? So also I want to cover over, a lot of coaches that have come in that have gotten orphaned. And what I mean by orphaned, their coach comes in, the person that signed them up say, hey, you know what, I'm so excited that you came in. They sign you up. All of a sudden they leave and nobody knows who they are. They never come back or they come back every once in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about that a little bit, about what you should do. And that's why we created the Ultimate Fitness Team for two reasons. One, for geometric growth for leaders that are growing big organizations, because they're going to eventually have to have some type of communication platform and also training. And two, for the orphans out there that don't know, what to do, or they come into a different system or whatever, and they just can't follow it, and the person goes away. Now, what do I do? So I'm going to bring up some people today, also talk a little bit about testimonials on that, so that they can give an input on how they're succeeding, even though their person has gone away. So that's two. And then secondly, what I want to talk a little bit about is the numbers. Again, numbers about where you want to be and what you want to accomplish over the next 30 to 60 to 90 days. Because I'm telling you, once we come out of Summit, your growth grows exponentially. Eric Worre talks about for every person that you have at Summit or at any event, you can calculate them to a $10,000 per year. Think about that. If you have 5 people there and they grow and they're business builders, that's 50 grand. If you have 10 people, that's 100 grand. If you have 100, think about it. Just those numbers just expedite. And if you're brand new, don't get intimidated by those numbers, because this thing grows by everybody participating and everybody doing those activities. Because you just never know when it's time to grow. I mean, perfect example, Dan Roush. Perfect. I mean, he's been in the business how long?
I just got in yesterday.
Right. But seriously, you just started building, right?
Hey, it was time to build.
Absolutely.
Build.
And that's a great story about this business, because you know what? Life gets in the way. Something happens, or something dramatic happens, or you get married and stuff happens. It's awesome. But what happens is sometimes in your life, you're just not ready to build. And then all of a sudden it clicks in and you're like, you know what? It's time to build. So what do you do? How do you do it? Where do you plug in? What you're doing? That's what we're creating. A lot of the stuff that we're creating, so that you have people that whenever it's time for them to turn it on, it's time to turn it on. Everybody get that? Perfect. So we're going to start this session out first, because I know he's got to leave. I'm going to have him, answer some questions, because we talk about this a lot, and I know he's working the business, he's working it hard. He's the product of the product. He's motivating people. He's exercising with people. He's doing the deal. Even though his personally sponsored coach left him an orphan, you know what? He's plugging in. He's doing the deal. And let's give a round of applause for my twin brother, Mr. Robert Robinson. Come on up. Let me get you a mic.
He's got a soft voice. It's the churches, I mean. Good.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Robert a series of questions, and the reason why, like I said, I wanted to bring him up on board is because, Robert's been in the business for a while, and he's tried things, he's done things, and you know what, he's still plugging away. So Robert, can you explain a little bit about what you're doing and how you're plugging into UFT and how it's helping you build your business, and not just that, but how your mindset has changed by just being around like-minded people that are helping you build your business?
Well, guys, number one, I'm afraid to or ashamed to admit it, but I am an orphan in Beachbody. So last couple years or whatever, my kind of blind coach just not plugging into the business. So, I mean, I can sit here and just complain that I have no upline training, nothing going on, no accountability partner like that. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse, because guess what? There's a lot of leaders in this room that I've kind of just plugged into, some of the new up-and-coming leaders. Pete, him and I had some conversations. I'm here a lot during the daytime. I have a little bit of freedom in my job schedule at UNLV, so I'm here a lot during the day. I see Marty every day, but I'm also plugging into my business and just doing the simple things that I'm learning. I'm nitpicking little stuff that works for me. It's just basically getting down to just grassroots. I started a live fitness group that I teach right now at 11 o'clock, and I invest in that City Athletic Club. It's for my people to bring free people that just want to jumpstart their healthy fitness goals. So I invest over there. I have people watch the Shakeology 100 Doctors video after that. So after the workout, we come over here. We show the video. We talk about fitness. We talk about nutrition. So I'm just plugging into the simple things that are working for me, and just getting down and real with people. And I just talk to them. What are your fitness goals? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? What's your goal weight? What's your weight now? What is your goal weight? So I get down to them and talk to them about what fitness program are you doing? What's your nutrition like? What are you eating every day? Tell me what you ate for the last 3 days. And I'll tell you guys, I had a guy yesterday, actually Thursday, and he was at McDonald's in the morning, Burger King at lunch, and Kentucky Fried Chicken at night. And I'm like, Andre, once I pointed it out to him, like, what are you eating every day? And he was like, Rob, I need to come to your class on Saturday. I need to get on Shakeology. Hopefully later today, if he shows up to the class, he's signing up for a challenge pack for Shakeology. But it's just pointing out simple things like that. And that's how I'm just leading. I used to lead with money years ago, and Facebook and money. And a lot of people just get turned out by the money. It's not about the money. Now I'm leading with the health challenge, the fitness, reaching out to them. What are your goals? And that's basically what I'm doing. But I came in, I was trained just money in this business. And guess what, guys? It didn't work for me for 2 years. It did not work. I got a few people, a few coaches. They're not plugged in. Now I just flipped it and lead with the health challenge. And that's the difference. But I don't have a lot of upline support. I plug into some of the leaders on Facebook. Christy, I plug in read a lot of her stuff on a daily basis. Lindsay that way, I read a lot of her stuff, what she's doing in her challenge group, how she's bringing a lot of women into her challenge groups. It's just real simple stuff, real simple training, and that's what I'm just plugging into, the simple things.
So what has been the biggest? Well, you talked a bit about your biggest challenge about how you were just focusing on the money, and now it's just the fitness. Do you see yourself combining both of them, or you think you've gone to the other side, just on the fitness side?
Yeah, so I slowly start with the fitness and what are their goals, and real simple, guys. After I sit down, a 30-minute nutrition consultation with them, and I'm not a nutrition expert, but I just keep it simple. What are you eating? let's put more lean proteins. And I show them on their plate, there should be 1/3 lean proteins, 1/3 fruits and vegetables, and 1/3 of carbs or whatever. Okay, so, and that's how I just break it down. Cut out the breads, cut out all the other stuff, but I leave with the challenge, and then I start on a scale of 1 to 10. How important is it for you to reach your goals? If it's not a 7 or higher, thanks for coming. Let me know when you get to a 7. I'll be willing to work with you. So if it's not a 7, if they're a 5, they're not committed. And I've had people that come to my group over there and just came to 1 or 2 workouts and just fell out. And so I kept reaching out to them. Guess what? They're not ready yet. They're not serious. So I work with 7 or highers. And after that, I start talking to them. Well, now that we're on a mission for your health and fitness goals, what are your financial goals? Are you happy with where you're at financially right now? Okay, so then I kind of plug into what we're doing at Beachbody, how we're trying to help people not only on the health side, but on the physical side. So are you happy with your health and fitness goals? Are you happy with where you're at financially on your health, on your financial side? Are you happy with your job? Are you happy with your lifestyle? Are you happy with the house you're in? Are you happy with the car? Are you happy with the money in your bank account? No. What are you going to do about it? And so I plugged into the challenge pack and then slowly just started. And I'm on that mission now where I'm just starting to get them into the challenge packs, show them a little bit about the opportunity of the video, and then we sit down and talk about their goals. What would an extra $500 a month do for you? And so they're starting to see the financial side.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Robert from the outside looking in? Yeah, Carl. Who's your sponsor? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
This better be good. Sometimes you and I get together and we go to different places or different venues, and we kind of like have lunch, or we talk about Shakeology, and that brings other people into our circle of, because they're listening to us on the website.
So for those of you that came here because Carl's in the background, what Carl's saying is I know him and Robert, they go out for lunch and then they talk about Shakeology so people can overhear about the conversation. What else?
Yes, and they listen, and that seems to bring other people, because they're curious. I mean, it's amazing when you don't think people are listening to you, how they listen.
So in other words, what Carl's saying is a strategy that they also use is by going out, and we talk about it, me and Sue go out, we talk about Beachbody and people over here. So that's another way to prospect without, indirectly or directly prospecting, using another source of a way to prospect. So good point, Carl. Maddie?
What Carl said was,
Who's your sponsor? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
he says people, it's surprising people listening when you're not talking to them. People listen to you more when you're not talking to them than they are talking to them.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that's great. So, you know what? I know Robert shared some really good things, and is any other questions? Yes.
What you're doing is really great, because I used to be with another company, and we always talked about the money. I was there for a year. I made no money.
Awesome. That's a great
Yeah,
point.
so leading with the health challenge is so important because people want to know, and like I said, I get a lot of these tips and stuff from Lindsay that way and some of the other leaders. So I just listen to that. I watch a lot of the videos and training. I go back to listening to training and just leading with the health challenge because people don't want to hear about the money. Oh, it's another one of those money things. Money. But health and getting fit and getting healthy. So a lot of my posts are healthy stuff, nutrition information, stuff like that. But I'm just starting to just lead with that health challenge. And people just want to know that you're sincerely interested in helping them.
Awesome.
And so that's where before my mentality was helping myself and helping. Now I just show a genuine interest in them and helping them. What are your goals? Not my goals. What are your goals? And so that's how I'm kind of leading. We're having some good success with it. And like I said, guys, you have to invest in your business. And one of the things that, my upline, he taught me a lot about the business in the beginning, but it just went over my head. But one thing is, investing in your business. And so if I invest in some extra Shakeology every month, I invest in my free class, make flyers. I do Shakeology flyers. At the gym, People are looking at me and watching me work out. I'm weight training. I'm doing jumping jacks in between and power knees in between. People are coming up. What the heck are you on? And I got my Shakeology cup with me. And I said, hey, you're interested in some free nutrition information. I'll give them a Shakeology information sheet. I'll get their email. I'll shoot them the 100 Doctors Don't Lie video. After they watch the video, I ask them, what did you like most about the video? What was important? That way I know if they watched it. I have them come to my office. I either make a shake for them or I give them a free packet to try. Once they try it, wow, this is really good. Then I set them up as, do you want to be a customer or do you want to be a discount coach? And so that's how I do it. So I get them into the discount coach and show them the difference between retail price and retail's $140. Or you can buy a challenge pack for $140. You get the DVD workout of your choice, or Beachbody Club on demand, and you get to choose your workout and drink Shakeology for the same price. So a discount coach, or if you want to spend retail. And once you put the numbers together, they're like, let's go discount coach. And then eventually, I tell them 4 things. Get 4 people retail on Shakeology, your Shakeology is free every month. Okay, so $30 times 4 people, $120, your Shakeology is free. So now they have Shakeology, and they're leaving with Shakeology to their friends and people and other people they know. And I'm signing up a lot of like 501c3s, and I'm doing the same thing with them. You know, they're looking for fundraisers and stuff like that. So I always tell them retail Shakeology is $140. Okay, coach price is $110. There's no partnership fee with the 501c3 or military. So $140, if you sell 100 Shakeologies every month to people in your group, that's $3,000 a month fundraiser. So I got Centennial Youth Girls Basketball Team, 200 Shakeology sales every month, that's $6,000 a month. 300 Shakeology sales, $9,000 a month. What can you do for your girls basketball? You'll never need shoes, uniforms, bags. They go to California for tournaments, Utah, Arizona. So 300 Shakeology times $30 profit, $9,000 a month. So like, so that's what I'm leaving with, just that.
Awesome. Let's give all the Remember, the Ultimate Fitness Team has a variety of ways to build the business. And there's some people that resonate with how Robert does it because, you know, they tried leading with money and they haven't been able to. You know, and some people lead with fitness. So again, it's what's your niche? How do you talk to people? And you should be able to take that conversation either way. Is it money? Is it fitness? But eventually it's got to come back and it's going to circle around. Because if it doesn't circle around, that discount coach, the average discount coach is used Shakeology for 4.5 months. So you have 4.5 months to convert that person from a customer to a coach, or become a customer, a discount coach, and have them start trying to, you know, get other people so that they can get their product for free. And I'm going to cover that a little bit about when I talk about the numbers. So that's just one area that I really wanted to touch upon today, and I wanted Robert to share that with you. So, secondly, we talked a little bit about. Let me cross that one off. We talked a little bit about the foundation of a solid business, and we talked about how you structure your organization from the very beginning is going to determine your success for over the long haul. And the reason why I brought up the motto today is I wanted to talk a little bit about, I always talk about the power of one. I talk about those numbers. So I wanted to share a little bit about, the numbers that we've been looking at. I went back and I looked back over the past 365 days, and we looked at the organization, and that's what we focus on, the power of one. We put in 4,010 coaches so far this year. Not myself, the team. So 4,000 coaches. So you do those numbers times 90. Look at those numbers. That's for every 1,000. That's 90,000 in volume. So think about that. That's 180. It's 180. So 360,000 in volume. Upswing in a year. But think about that. So if you look at, you scale those numbers down, do 100 people that you put in your organization in 365 days or the next 90 days. Now, over the past 3 months, when you start looking at the numbers and the projections, we've put in over the past 60 days, over 1,300 coaches. So the projection and those numbers are going to grow because of the quality of people that are coming in, that are looking to build the business. And then there's some people that just want to create volume. So start thinking about that. Yes?
4,000 coaches in last year. Does that even include their customers?
No. Just coaches. And again, that's not even counting for those that have hit Success Club because of those customers that Beachbody gives. So again, if you start thinking about those numbers, then I start going back and I start thinking, okay, here's what you really want to focus on. Number one, how many diamonds are coming in for that number? And the reason, why is that important? Can somebody share that with me? What's that?
It raises your income.
Duplicating.
Duplicating is growth.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah.
You raise your income because now you go to the next level. Because if you have, let's say you have an income of $10,000 if with the volume associated with that, but if you only have one diamond, the most you can make is $3,000, right? So that's number one. The key is how many diamonds can you have so that you can go to the next level to make more money. That's number one. What's number two?
Creating leaders.
Creating leaders. Awesome. Number three?
We build them, don't stay.
Yes, Matty, great job. You're building leaders that are going to stay. Because here's the thing. If 4,000 people come in and none of them rank advance, what I'm talking about, rank advance, none of them, remember, you're only going the average person stays in on Shakeology for 4.5 months. So remember, we're trying to create income for the rest of your life rather than having income for the next 6 months. Everybody follow? So why is it important? We used to teach Get to Success Club. Teach to get the Emerald. And some people say, well, I can get the Emerald, but I can't get Success Club. Well, then focus on just building emeralds. Because remember, if your foundation has a bunch of emeralds and everybody's building two and everybody's helping to, everybody from the top to the bottom is making $12,000 a year. Think about that. If they only sign up 2 people and get no customers whatsoever, this person is an emerald, and all they do is help this guy become emerald. Everybody in here becomes emerald. That's all you're doing. Emerald. That everybody going down will make $12,000 every single year. Not bad. Now, all you gotta do is sign up 2 more people, and they become Ruby. Now their income goes up. So that's why it's so important, not only to have rank advancements or bring people in, but how many diamonds do you have in your organization? Because those diamonds are your leaders that are moving the needle forward. And some people, the biggest mistake that people do is they get the diamond and they say, okay, I'm there. And they stop building. They get, and how easy it is to get the diamond. 8 people, so a cluster of 12, you're a diamond. I mean, think about it. There's 2 15-star diamonds that came up this week. Somebody hits a diamond 2. But if you think about it, how impressive is that? Because there's no volume requirement. You have, with 200 people, you can get to 15-star diamond. With 200 people. And you can make the bonuses, but you don't make the money for the month. So think about this. And in the more 15-star diamonds that come in, the less that pool of money goes down. So that's why I asked the question, what's more important? Is it to create real residual income for the rest of your life, or you have 15-star diamond and making, it's still good money, $40,000 a quarter, and still that's $160,000 a year. So again, but I know that will go down as more people start hitting it. And we had, how many diamonds were hit this week? 180? 180 new diamonds. So they're popping out there. So if you're getting left behind, what are you doing? And that's why I don't want to talk too much about the project today because we already hashed that, we already talked about it, but that's on its way and it's moving forward. And we talked about the blog of what we're doing to enhance that. So, okay, so I talked about that. Now, here's another thing. Success Club points. How many people in your organization that hit Success Club points? We calculated, and again, we looked at the numbers again. I think we had over 300 people that hit Success Club in our organization. So, do the math. The average person, how many did you get last 16. So let's just bring it down to 15, right? 15 times 300 is what? 4,500. That's 4,500 customers that came into our organization because you build people or help build people. Remember, we've been in this thing for 8 years. We don't know who's coming in anymore. So other people who are bringing other people in, those people are helping other people. That's why you have to have a system in place. So I want you to start thinking about big numbers. Start thinking about 5 years from now, not next week, not next month, not next year, but 5 years from now. You don't know who you're going to bring in that's going to bring that next big guy in, or somebody who's just consistent. I know, and here's where Mr. Kitty Rogers comes in. I was telling Sue, she goes, don't say that. I'm telling you, this is why. You ever heard that song, Don't Fall in Love with the Dreamer? So I was singing that. And the reason why I wanted to bring that song up is, everybody, when you bring somebody in, they're a dreamer, right? They start thinking, oh man, I'm gonna kill this business. I mean, how many of you have had that, right? I'm gonna kill this thing. This thing is so easy, I'm gonna kill it, and then they go away a month later, right? So the reason why, I said, and I do the same thing. Every time I sign somebody else, I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be amazing, man. This is because the guy's a big dreamer. But how about fall in love with the doer, right? The doer is someone who's consistent, that comes to meetings, even though things have happened in their life, things are always moving, obstacles happen. Look at Eddie. Eddie breaks his leg or his Achilles, tears it, but he's still here. There's no excuses. He's here. Why? And he's going to be at Summit. And we're pushing him because we're going to get in front of the line. But the thing is all this stuff that I'm coming and talking about creates volume. I could care less about other stuff. You got to create this first. Because if you don't create this is easy. I mean, you can have 10 people hitting Success Club every month, but your income is limited based on the customers that Beachbody is going to give you. That's it. But if you're growing a team of people that are hitting Success Club, now you start exploding. Now you start bringing in the numbers. Another, Krista Wolfram, same thing. She's blowing it up because here's what she's doing. Just like what Robert talked about. She's taking what's the best of what she's learned, the best of what we've taught, and she's applied her own principle on here. What we're teaching is just to give you a solid foundation. What you have to do is find a niche that makes you successful. I found my niche. My niche is network marketers. That's where I want to go. And they're coming in now. But it might not be for you. I mean, I feel so comfortable getting on a phone call and talking that language because that's how I built my business. And if you're not comfortable with doing that, then find out what Christy's doing, find out what Mel's doing, find out what Mark's doing, find out what Robert's doing, or find out what other leaders are doing. It doesn't matter. This business is not unique. Everybody has to find a niche, and you find leaders. I got to a certain point where I had to go out and reach. It took me 6 years to finally realize, okay, I got to go out and get more mentorship. That's why I went to Eric Worre's event in Cabo. And it was mind blowing to me that how I did so many things right, but then what I was missing and how I could get to the next level. And that's taken a whole year for me to put those skills into play. So what are you doing to put your skills into play? It's great. It's great doing the conversation. It's great starting that up, but are you following up? Are you engaging with the right kind of people? You know, I've had friends who, like I said, I had friends who before Beachbody, you know, we used to hang out all the time. And what did we always talk about? You know, the same old stuff. Nothing about how to get ahead in life, not about kids and stuff like that, about moving forward. So when you surround yourself with the right environment and the right people who are looking in the right direction, it doesn't have to be Beachbody, it has to be with just anything in life. If you surround yourself with those people, that's good, that's me. Again, I'm buying water with Himalayan sauce. So when I start covering all these numbers, and I start thinking about our very first meeting, I remember my very first meeting, and for many of you, but this is an exercise that I want you guys to apply. I got invited to Doug Couch's party in Nashville, right? Because I'm his personally sponsored, and he's invited a whole bunch of people. But I'm thinking, who got an invite from Doug? Anybody else? So I'm thinking, wait a minute. He gave me a kit. I signed up. You talk about an orphan. I mean, I'm an orphan. He invites me to his party, but yet we've helped him with a great lifestyle over the past 8 years. And he doesn't invite anybody on my team. How can I go and not invite my team? So so everybody on camera right now, and everybody watching, and everybody here, I want you everybody to go to Doug Couch's for, hey, I heard you're having a party. We weren't invited. I'm in the downline. I mean, seriously, everybody should do that. Say, hey, I'm in Pete's group. Pete got invited. He said, is this party open for us too? Because I know if I do that, I'm inviting everybody on my team. Because I know that I've set a solid foundation, so I'm responsible for anybody who comes in my organization, regardless if they're tied to me or not personally. That's how you grow this. Because if you don't grow this, you don't have this. It all plays a part in what you build an organization. Everybody get that?
Yep.
So that's what I learned from Eric Worre when he talked about going to events. He talked about it, and he did a diagram that every event that you go to every year, you can pretty much corner out how much of an event you're going to have. So if you have 10 people there this year, you might have 30 people there next year, 100 people there the next year. But you as an individual, if you go 1 year and you skip 2 or 3 years, it's like you starting all over again because you've lost out on all that growth and all that momentum. He said every single event you go to allows you to grow your income. Okay? And when he said that, I was like, you know what? We've been to every event. We've gone to every training. We've gone to everything that Beachbody has put out there because this is our livelihood. So is this your livelihood or is this a hobby for you? If it's a hobby, that's great. Remember, we're all a volunteer army as it is anyway. But this volunteer army allows you to make income that's based on what your activities are and whatever your goals are. So I've had people that have called and they're like, hey, I'm part of this team. I want to join your team. And, you know, and I tell them, and sometimes I think, man, because it's like random people. I got a phone call 2 days ago. This girl called me. She said, I used to be a Beachbody coach. Now I'm calling to see if, you know, what you can do for me. I'm like, well, okay. What did you do last time that's going to be different from this time? I can tell you right now for a fact, maybe a couple of exceptions, people that have quit other organizations and have come to you, chances are they're not going to do anything. Because if they didn't do something for somebody else, with somebody else, they're probably not going to do something with you. So don't worry about the ones that already have been coaches. Try to find new people who don't know about us. Remember, there's over 17 million customers that are Beachbody, that love Beachbody, that don't know there's an income opportunity tagged to it. Yes.
I have a side note to that comment because I thought a girl in here for the presentation last week who was a coach under me 2 years ago. She's from Florida, but she never saw the office. She never saw, webinars or nothing. And she's kind of faded out. She came to it here and saw the office, and she got out, and like the next day she called her boyfriend, "Oh my God, you gotta check this out. This is incredible." And she was there 2 years ago, but never saw it. But when she saw the office and the way we work as a team, that has a big impact on her.
Right. You know what, man, that's a great point what you're talking about right now, because that's how I started this segment. I started this segment because the people that are orphaned or have not, for whatever reason, didn't want to do the business, now you get them on a webinar, you bring them to the building, you go to the new website. Maybe they don't know maybe they don't have friends and family anymore, so now they plug into the blog. They start sharing articles on their Facebook page. They rank advanced, they can be part of the rotator, stuff like that. But again, it's being in that ether all the time, being in there and talking about the business. Mark, you have some?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think people know the magnitude of what they get into when they come in until they really see this. Especially people that I bring in from other teams that come to visit me or whatever. When I bring them into this office, they are blown away. They are totally blown away. And I mean, we got to seriously take advantage of this because we kind of sometimes take it for granted that, oh, it's here, blah, blah, blah. Right. But on a side note, what I wanted to really talk about real quick is the personal growth that you're talking about with Eric Warrior and so forth. A lot of people, when they come into this business, I'm finding out they can't see it in their head. They can't see it. We don't know where they've been, what they're going through, the struggles, the families, the jobs, this, the that. And they might not listen to you, and you just need to be the message to send them to a personal growth book or a audio or what have you, to get them to really start changing their mindset. Because until they can have the best products, they can have the office, they can have the best mentor, whatever, but until they really want it and they change it over into their head, right, nothing is going to happen for them.
Right, absolutely, right?
Same thing I'm saying with Mark's, if you got to make a choice, you're going to do it or not. Because if you said you went to Eric Warrior event, I went to Eric Warrior event last year. Me and Lenny are going to one this year in October. And it's going an extra mile and learn all you can learn.
Right. If you have not got tickets to Eric Warrior, let me know because I can get him at a discount. I know, I had a coach who bought a bunch of them. He's trying to get rid of them, so he get them at a reduced rate. So that can be something that's going to change your life. But when you talk about mindset, and people don't realize what's in front of them. That's why I teach this, the power of one. And the reason why I teach the power of one is because most people, when they come in here, they can't see the mountaintop. They can't see that. But what they can see is sign up that one person a month, train, develop, mentor, show them what to do, and then they sign somebody else. If you really, I know if I was starting this business again, I know what I would do is every single person that I signed up, I would have a chart in my house, and I would list their names. I would list their names, whoever it is. So I know every month who I'm going after. And then I would keep track who did they sign up, what they signed up. And if you're tracking, 1 brings 1 equals 2, right? I mean, very simple stuff. 4, 8, 12, 16, 32, and it just quadruples. If you start listing all your people that you're bringing in, have that chart, and then you call them, once a week. And again, not just about the business, who you got. Hey, how's Shakeology treating you? What are your results? Hey, have you talked to anybody about your results? Is it, you just keep that line of communication and the awareness of talking to somebody. Because what happens after 21 days?
Oh, funny, yeah, form a habit.
You form a habit, right? Or you get a steak dinner.
Reset.
So what happens is you form a habit, and if somebody's out there doing it, and what do we talk about? Once you're a mentor and you model it and then you teach it, You're a master, right? It takes 10,000 hours, or we were talking about to become an expert at something, right? Or is thinking, I got 9,000 more to go, right? But what happens is when you become a mentor and you start doing that over and over and over again, your coaches are solidifying. If you're teaching that, there's no difference with when I'm talking about this than becoming a solid foundation that's building emeralds. Because if you're building this, and other people, sometimes they're going to bring in 2 people, 3 people, four a month or something like that. Or they might jump right out of the bat and bring in 10 people right away, right? You can't let them go, so you teach them this activity. I'm telling you, it blows things away. And I know that we're talking about, some other things. How do you solidify your organization? I mean, Christy have had conversations on that about always get on the phone call at least once a month, every 2 months, and talk about the real power of Beachbody, where it's going, where it's heading. Like you got the Herbalife and you have the Amway. They're phenomenal companies. They're making billions of dollars. Beachbody is going to be there. Talk about that. Talk about the uniqueness of our company that no other company has. It is just an incredible opportunity. And now network marketers, I'm telling you, not only do they love what Beachbody is, they've never seen anything about it. And they're like, I've never heard of it. And we're at 512 million. And we're number 22 in the United States, number 33 in the world. And as we grow, those numbers are going to multiply. Those numbers are going to grow. And when you're talking to a network marketer or somebody who hasn't had success, and you're not talking about the blog strategy, you're not talking about what we're doing to help you with the lead generation. Who did not watch Randy's video yet on Thursday? Don't be shy. If you have not watched it, great. You need to watch it. And the reason why we talk about lead generation, about what people are out there paying to get what we're having done for free. We're trying to do something that hasn't been done. And it's progressing in a way that is moving forward for the success of all, not for an individual. Yes, you can do the same thing, do it by yourself, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. And I would hate to have a brand new coach spend. Ray, when you did your the same thing with the blog and all that stuff, what did that cost you?
It was just under $20,000.
So think about that. How many people have that kind of money to put that in there? So again, you can't. That's not duplicatable for your organization because a lot of people have that expendable income. What we're trying to do is help create something for everyone. And if you're not sharing articles, you're missing out because what that is doing, you might not get a lead right now, but what is that doing? That's bringing our blog up higher and higher and higher.
It's also positioning yourself as somebody that has a love for health, nutrition, and fitness, which people miss that.
Right, absolutely.
People totally miss that.
That's a great point, Bart. What Bart is saying is when you're posting stuff, people start looking at your love of nutrition and the expertise of our blog. Because we got some great articles that are coming on board with that. So it's not like you're just throwing up garbage and just letting it stick. What you're trying to do is educate the public that what you're in and doing it, and you're not throwing up on somebody. Because I'm telling you right now, I have seen throw up to the tremendous amount. I have seen people talk people out of becoming coaches. I mean, the guys already signed on dotted line, and they just don't shut up. Guys, 3-way calls. Anytime you're helping somebody, and that person can't shut up, you got to have a conversation with that person and say, listen, you want me on this 3-way call? Let me do it. Let me close it. But once it's closed, zip it, and let's give them the training. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And another thing, one of the things that I really want to focus on also is our Wednesday night presentations. When you're doing testimonials, guys, when we bring you up here, it should be what was before Beachbody, where you are right now, and maybe a little bit about where you see your future. And it's got to be 1 minute. It's not about you trying to close the deal again. Don't come up here and say, oh my God, you got to get involved with this, you got to do this. No, don't do that. It's your story. Hey, I lost, I did 21-day reset. I lost 15 pounds. I feel amazing. This product is amazing. If you're looking to lose weight, you know what? You look at our product. Thank you. boom, walk off. If you're looking for financial, guys, before Beachbody, I was a school teacher, and I was making this kind of money. I didn't see the future about how I was going to pay for my kids' college. Now that I'm a Beachbody coach, I've been able to pay for my kids' college. Now they have, freedom, and I have freedom, and things are going great. I went to trips or whatever. And you know what? What we have right now is something that is unbelievable. And I want to thank you. Boom, you're off the stage. That's simple. Don't come up here and try to close people. That's not your job. Your job is to do your testimonial. That's what we talk about, laying the foundation. That's another part. There's so many layers in this business that if you don't perfect and if you're missing, it's just, you're going to lose out. Because if you're doing something over and over and you're not getting the results, that means you're missing something. Right? Yeah. I equate that to golf game. You tee off, great tee off. You get a great tee off, right? You're sitting there, you're all amazed. Next one, you think, I'm going to hit to the green. Boom, you shank it, you're in the woods, right? Why? Because you did something wrong. Then you do the next hole, the same thing. Are you going to do that same shot, or are you going to adjust? And if you're not adjusting, boom, you're over there, you're like, hey, what's going on? But after 4 years, you got to start thinking, wait a minute, there's something really wrong. So, right. So, and so when you can drive, lay up, putt, and if you're not putting correctly, now that's another avenue, right? So you have to perfect every single skill. That's what network marketing is all about. All these layers that we talk about is laying that foundation for you to bring in all those diamonds, for you to hit Success Club, for you to have those rank advancements, so you can have a solid organization that creates volume and never goes away. I mean, I think a professor could lay this out any better, right? So think about all this stuff that I'm teaching and all the stuff that we've done. Now you apply it to yourself and start looking in that mirror and saying, hey, I know I can do this. I know what Pete taught me today, and I know this is not all original stuff. There's people out there that are teaching different stuff. This right here, I put it together because Beachbody is a different monster, because nobody has what we have. So when you start looking at this, start thinking about where you want to be. Now, again, the language of people that you talk to depends on how you're going to promote the business. Like Robert, he's doing something different. I would never do that because I don't want to be a personal trainer and be tied into all that stuff. Not nothing against that, but then I got to be out there doing that 14 times a day. I don't want to do that. So any questions? I know I've covered a lot of information and we're pretty much wrapping up. Yes.
There's no presentation or training next week, right?
No presentation, no training next week. It's 4th of July. And then we're debating on the following week because we're getting ready to go to Summit. So we'll be posting all that information coming soon. And then we're also going to be, we will have our Wednesday night meeting this week. We'll have our Thursday call. Well, I'm not sure because I know people are going to be going there. We will have a Wednesday presentation and we'll go from there. But as far as that's concerned, I think we've covered a lot of information and I don't want to go any further, but is there before we wrap up, anybody else, any comments, anything else?
So we are having a Wednesday one this week or not?
Yes. This Wednesday we are having the presentation.
So it's just a Saturday training.
Saturday training, no.
Okay.
It's 4th of July, right?
4th of July. And if you haven't watched that video, watch that video because I'm telling you, the Thursday night hangout, it's amazing. Bart's going to start putting those hangouts in the UFT back office so you can be there. And if you haven't gone through the new training, go through it. I'm telling you, it specifies it so easy on how to get a brand new coach started, how to log in, how to even log into the UFT. So we got a lot of things happening, a lot of good stuff. Who's going to Summit? Raise your hand, please. Awesome. Great. Let's see. We get your people there and grow your business. I know Mark talks about, he's probably going to be his biggest group this year going there. That's exciting. And again, when you say, your group is your group. But when you're in a binary, whoever's in that, if you're in the inner leg, you're that group, that's your group. And you're responsible. Not financially or anything like that. What I'm saying is we're training and motivation and getting people to the right information, that's what you're responsible for. And the binary is weird because, you know, somebody who might have a position up here that was even given to them, or they're not even working the business, they think it's their downline, but you know what? It's not. But again, but if you disappear and that person trains your team and you disappear because you're not doing nothing, then whose fault is that? It's yours, right? Because you're responsible for your income and for your money. So with that, I know I've covered a lot of information. And you know, I thank everybody. Great year. I see the numbers growing. I see your vision, your leadership, and we're moving forward. So with that, I want to thank you. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.